So you're vowing to improve your profitability after your losses narrow. Help us understand what that means a little bit more. Do you expect to be profitable?
Yeah, good morning, Anna, and thanks for having me. First of all, I think, as you said, we've made great progress in 21. You know, our company cuts across all the energy value chain, from conventional to renewables, from generation of electricity to transmission, really, to usage. And we told our investors right from the get-go that we said it's a multi-year story now, really, to build it up, improve. There's a lot of things we can do ourselves. We launched a lot of restructuring and cost-effectiveness programs. And we made really good progress in 21. We had a substantial increase in the earnings. We're still on a net loss, but obviously we see us absolutely on the right track on improving. We had some challenges, as you know, in 21, also on the renewable side and the onshore business with wind. Obviously, where there's two things. The one thing is there were some problems which we need to tackle ourselves on how we do certain things on projects. And there is a general element, I think, in the industry. If we talk about the wind market in particular, what are the right prices for the equipment? What are the right prices for the wind power? And we see it with all our peers that the industry is in a discussion there on what is the right profitability base and the right price base in the business. That said, I'm very confident going forward. We are on the absolutely right track. We have the right portfolio to tackle energy transformation. And in this regard, I'm confident for the future way of Siemens Energy.
Good morning, Christian. As you say, there's some good signs there, some good results overall in terms of that the restructuring your gas and power division is going well. But you mentioned the fact that you've still got ongoing troubles in your renewable unit, Siemens Gamesa. Do you think you need to take more control of that unit? And will your parent company, Siemens, give you the cash to take more control and buy out some of these shareholders and kind of enact some more aggressive restructuring there?
First of all, I always would like to hint to resolving the problems, the operational issues at Siemens Gamesa is irrespective of the share what Siemens Energy holds in Siemens Gamesa. This has to be done really independent of this, and this is what we're doing. You know, we own 2/3 of Siemens Gamesa. We are widely presented on the board. We can influence the company. We tackle the things, and I believe the measures are on its way. In terms of future structure, is something I can at this point in time not really comment on, but it's also not my priority. My priority is fix the operational problems in Siemens Gamesa. It's something we can do and we are addressing, and what the management in Siemens Gamesa is also addressing. One thing said to this, as I said, certain things are really issues they have to address. The other discussion is really about the overall industry, because we have seen it with all peers in the wind areas. Everybody was struggling, and this also means that the continuous logic of renewables get cheaper and cheaper while the material cost increases is not working out. We have to discuss about that element to really drive this industry forward.
Okay, so what's wrong with the pricing of the products in renewable energy, Christian? Is it that contracts aren't flexible enough to reflect higher higher material prices when they occur? Are you just underpriced generally? Can you sum up what the issue is?
No, I think we have seen that there was an aggressive price reduction over the past years in onshore and offshore. And this is good because it shows that renewables is growing. It shows also the scale up of the industry. But we have at the same time seen that if you look on steel prices, more than doubling than the prices. We have seen logistics prices coming up 4 times to prior COVID times. So we've seen that the underlying material prices have increased while the power prices on the wind side came down. This is not going to work. So either it has to be reflected in more indexes and more flexible contracts towards customers, but at the end it also has to show up in the power prices to the end consumers. This is something which needs to be understood by the industry, the OEM suppliers like ourselves, but also the ones who are investing into the wind parks, for example, on how this can work out. Because at the end, you need to earn money, only then it will be a successful industry, and I think this is possible. We have to be aware, Christian, in renewables, the consumption of material. Yes, sorry, please.
Sorry to interrupt. I was just going to say that with COP26 going on in the background, I wanted to kind of get to this quickly. With COP26 going on in the background, climate is obviously front of kind of everyone's minds at the moment. You make coal and gas turbines, thereby enabling the running of these coal plants and continuation. You know, so the extreme approach might be suggested at some point that you should just stop servicing these coal plants so they can no longer operate. Would you consider doing that at some point in the future?
I mean, first of all, I think we need a diversity of the portfolio. This is what I always said. And I have been myself in Glasgow. I have had a lot of discussions. And for me, it's important really to do both. 50% of our revenues today is on the sustainable side, on the renewable and the transmission side. The other part is largely gas, which I believe is an indispensable bridge into the future to tackle CO2 emissions now, today. I get tired of discussing about 2050 targets and not addressing 2022 and 2023. We will need this bridge on gas. We abandoned coal ourselves last year already because we have to get out of coal as fast as possible. And we also have to define whatever brings CO2 down today we should do, even if it is an interim solution like natural gas. And this is why we have this portfolio, to drive a sustainable energy transformation.